Welcome to Forum. I'm Jeremy Corbyn, and this is the topical debate show where the people ask the questions. Since gaining its independence from Britain in 1948, Sri Lanka has been one of the fastest developing countries in the region. However, since the 1980s, it's been beset by increasing violence between the government and the Tamil Tigers, who've demanded independence for the north and east of the country. Over 70,000 people have died in the conflict over the years. Efforts by the United Nations, India and steadfastly over many years the Norwegian government to bring about a permanent peace have failed. The last few weeks have seen the culmination of this conflict, with military success for the Sri Lankan government forces as they push deeper into the Tamil areas. Thousands have died, and accusations fly from both sides about ill treatment of civilians and denial of aid and support to people who are in desperate needs in a desperate situation. Wars seldom end conflict, and whilst they might bring a military truce, this can be a lull before a new storm. To discuss all this, a distinguished and balanced panel. To my right, Suren Surindaran, official spokesperson for the British Tamils Forum, which represents the majority of Tamils from Sri Lankan descent who live in the UK. Welcome. To his right, Robert Evans, a Labour member of the European Parliament and chair of the European Parliament's delegation to South Asia, of which he led a delegation to Sri Lanka in 2008. Welcome, Robert. To my left, Douglas Wickramarantne, the founder and president of the Sinhala Association of Sri Lankans in the UK. He's been nominated by the Sri Lankan High Commission in London to speak. Douglas, welcome. And to his left, Lord Naseby, a Conservative peer and founder and chairman of the all-party parliamentary group on Sri Lanka. Welcome to you all. First of all, there's time for me to announce that if you'd like to be part of our studio audience here in London, you can call our hotline on 0208 728 6472 or email us at forum@presstv.co.uk. You should see the details at the bottom of your screen now. And now to the first question from Hetal Shah.
Hi. I would like to ask the panel, how far were the attacks by the Sri Lankan government, were they justified, and will it get any long-term peace in future?
Good question. Douglas,
can you repeat the question?
Could we have the question clearly?
By the Sri Lankan government onto the Tamil Tigers, how far were they justified? And if they were justified, will it get any long-term peace?
The question is, how justified were the attacks made by the Sri Lankan government forces onto the Tamil Tigers, particularly, I assume, over the last few weeks? Douglas, can you answer first, please?
Yes. Actually, Sri Lanka has got a tremendous terrorist problem. We know the Tamil Tigers have been described as the most ruthless terrorist organization in the world by even the American FBI. And over the last few years, they have been killing. They have killed most Tamil leaders, including the foreign minister of the country, who was a Tamil. They've killed so many Tamil leaders that LTT has effectively finished off the other Tamil leaders. Now, what is happening in Sri Lanka is, just as much as anywhere else in the world, do we give in to terrorism? I mean, this group of LTT, represented by Prabhakaran, a school dropout, who will become the leader of the sole representatives of the Tamil. Now, do we give in to this terrorist, or do we, I mean, Sri Lanka is a democracy. We have a democratically elected government. Do we not allow the government to function? Do we give in to this terrorism? So this is the question. That is why the army is quite justified in going over to defeat. Now they're cornered in a small corner, and I hope that very soon, within the next few days, the whole problem, the Tamil terrorism will be eliminated, and we would have peace in Sri Lanka.
Suren.
Let me correct Jeremy first. Jeremy said LTT was asking for a separate state. It's the Tamil people who voted democratically in 1977 and again in 2004 for a separate state in Sri Lanka. So it's not just the LTTE as asking. About the question, since 1948, since independence, in Sri Lanka, there had been many, I can name in 1958, in 1983, many times there had been riots, government-sponsored communal riots which killed in 1983 more than 3,000 Tamils, innocent civilians. In Sri Lanka in 1956, the Prime Minister called for and voted for Sinhala as the official language when there are Tamils and English-speaking individuals, civilians live in that country. About the aggression, the military aggression, the particular point you made, in Middle East, the Israeli military aggression doesn't solve the Middle Eastern problem. It actually creates more instability. So the Sri Lankan military aggression in Sri Lanka is not going to solve the political aspirations of the Tamil people. The people are not asking for a separate state for the fun of it. They are asking for a separate state because they are systematically discriminated. There is systematic colonization in the Tamil homeland. And before 1948, and before the British came into Sri Lanka, even during the Dutch and the Portuguese who were colonizing, who were ruling Sri Lanka, there were more than one kingdom in Sri Lanka.
Can we go to Lord Naseby? Were they justified in the armed action taken by the Sri Lankan government over the last few weeks?
I would say yes. I mean, any elected government, and it's got Tamils in the government, they're the elected government. You have a terrorist group prescribed by the US, Canada, the UK, EU, many other countries. It is a terrorist group. No elected government can allow a terrorist group to continue. And there's been a progression. And when I was there this year, the year before, from Mana all the way up to Kilinochchi, and it is the terrorists who've taken the human shield with them. That's the most awful dimension. And I'm afraid those who, like people from Tarama Forum, who believe that the money you raise here locally to help the Tamil people, that's not been used to help the Tamil people. That's been used to provide arms, air-conditioned bunkers, etc. So my answer is yes, the government were entirely justified, and the sooner it's finished, the better.